David Opegbemi. Alright, so good to go. Somebody all set? What's going on, world? Back in the Walker Review here at IK Studios. Dog, I've been kind of wondering, how does acting life go? How do you get into it? Where's the big money in acting? So I have two aspiring, up-and-coming actors here in the studio today that's going to help us understand the stories and kind of understand the move that they're making. Y'all my friends. What's going on, people?
What's good?
I got my good man, Zachary Machani, Mr. David Opegbemi.
What's good, people?
These my brothers, dog. They doing big things here in act work. But, dog, seriously, how you living, dog?
Good. I mean, yeah, this work.
It's all in the acting world. Working, casting calls,
exactly.
shoots, fittings.
Pretty much stay relevant, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, though. But before we get into all the questions, for those who may not know you, I just gave them your name, but tell them who you guys are, where you're from, and then we'll get started to the interview, man.
I'm David Opegbemi. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I pretty much got into acting, I want to say about a year and a half ago. Like I said, it's been a grind. It's kind of crazy, but you know, I'm loving every moment. It's a struggle for sure, but I'm loving every moment. I got the family support, of course, from my beautiful wife and my son. You know, he's about to be 2 in October. He supports me, you know, through the heart. He ain't talking to me about it yet, but he knows I'm grinding. So yeah, we just out here trying to make moves.
Well, I'm Zachary Machani Jr., again from Dallas, Texas, man. Acting has been something, you know, it's been an aspiration of my own time. You know, even as a kid, you know, you watch The Fresh Prince, you know, you watch Martin, you watch all that, and you would be like, man, I could do that, you know, I could do that if I had that opportunity. So, man, I'm just trying to break the barrier for the kids, you know, that their parents don't push you to act, you know, they push you to play sports, or they push you just to do school or be a doctor or whatever. So, like David said, man, acting life is crazy, you know, but it's never a dull moment. It's always fun, man. You're always looking for it's like a high. You're always looking for the next thing.
That's for sure, man. But kind of diving a little deeper into that, where did the passion manifest for you guys? Because one, you gotta be really, not so much into yourself, but you gotta be confident in yourself to step up and get into those roles. Where did the passion manifest in both of you guys to really want to pursue acting on a professional level?
I mean, honestly, it just took me just waking up and just saying, are you really happy? Are you really getting value out of your life right now? Sure. You know, and then I just came to the point where it's like I want to do something I love. I want to do something I actually enjoy. And acting has always been something that I've loved to do as a kid, growing up and everything like that. So I just decided to just say, well, let me just go after it. Let me just dive in and see what happens. You know?
All right, so I mean, I think for me, man, personally, I've always garnered my energy from people, man. Like that's always been my thing. You know, even in elementary school, man, you know, they say, you know, the class clown is always, you know, the person.
That's for sure.
That's something I've always enjoyed. I mean, even, you know, when I got to college, man, you know, hosting a lot of the shows, hosting a lot of the parties that we had, you know, acting in the videos that we would have for marketing for my fraternity, man. It's just always been something that gave me energy. It's always something that really made me truly happy. I think I went to an acting class David had told me about called T-Bell Studios. And somebody asked me how I felt, and I said, man, it's crazy. It was my first time going to the acting studio, and I felt at home. Yeah. So, like, you know, I think the passion comes from, you know, when it feels natural to you. Mm-hmm. You know, I think the passion for me came from, you know, just a lifelong, you know, always want to do this, and, you know, finally being able to put myself on.
That's for sure, man. But one, when you want to be an actor or actress, you have to have that personal talent. And I just want to say the charisma to want to get out there and act, but are there any other personal traits that people need to possess? I mean, do you think anybody who can't act can get out there and develop the skills it needed to be a professional actor?
I mean, the thing is, you got to put in work. You got to practice your craft just like with anything else. You know, if you're going to play basketball, you want to take a million jump shots. Exactly. So the more you work at it, the better you get. I wouldn't just say that, you know, acting, it's just straight technical. I mean, you have to naturally have that vibe of someone who's just outgoing, someone who can just, you know, overcome fear, because no matter what, they're going to be shy, nervous, whatever the case may be, whenever you get in front of somebody or whenever you give a performance. So you have to be, you know, willing to overcome that fear and be willing to get better. That's all I got to say. I mean, I feel like everyone can do it. I mean, anyone can do it, but not everyone can do it. So that's what I said. Anyone can do it, but not everyone can do it. Yeah.
I think that's a big misconception. that everybody thinks that actors are these outgoing, big personalities, and they think that you have to give off that energy all the time. But if you think about it, man, if you gave off the same energy that you put into a project every time you came into contact with people, you will be spitting.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why you run into famous people at the airport, you know, getting coffee.
Exactly.
And it's just kind of like, man, I'm not like that all the time. Like, I'm not.
That's true.
Denzel is not the equalizer every time you see him, you know. Dwayne, you know, it takes time, man. So I think that there isn't just one trait, but I think that, like he said, man, you have to be a hard worker.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds cliche and kind of corny, but that's real.
Yeah, that's just understood. Like you said, even when playing basketball, you gotta be a hard worker and kind of, release yourself into the gym and practice your skill everywhere you go. So I definitely understand.
I think the only one thing I would say, most people that are trying to act, you know, just like myself, that you gotta be able to talk.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one. If you can't talk, if you're afraid to talk, or if you can't overcome that fear, that'll hinder you.
Definitely listen and apply what you get and what the notes that you get. Be open to criticism too. That's like, because you're gonna get it. That's the whole job. I mean, people are gonna watch to criticize. You know, they're gonna say, I like this movie or I don't like this movie. I like the actors. I don't like the actors. So you have to be willing to open to criticism and grow. I mean, you have to take the notes and apply them to your next performance.
Yeah. So we were talking about this briefly off camera. Just kind of like the business of acting, just even in the beginning stages. Like, tell me, like, from finding an agency to just the beginning stages. Like, if I'm like, just break it down to me like this: if I'm fresh, never acted even in a school play, a church play, and I really want to get seriously into acting, what are the steps I need to take to even get on track with that?
I mean, I can just start from my experience, you know, because I'm still roughly, getting started. You know, I've been in a few projects, extra work, stuff like that. I think the first step, and I'm learning this now, is getting an acting class. I think that's going to be step one, because one, you got to put yourself around other creators. And when you put yourself around other creators, it's easier for you to bounce ideas off, to find out more information. You know, if I love playing basketball, why am I always hanging around football players? Right. You know what I'm saying? If I love doing something, you need to be around the people that are doing that, because it's going to promote your growth. So I think the first step for me personally was getting an acting class, and then from there, you find the agencies and stuff like that. And I'll let David talk a little bit more on that.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. When I first started acting, I mean, even just open casting calls. You just want to just put yourself out there. You probably don't have nothing. You have no, like you said, you have no history or anything like that. Yeah. Just talk to people who are in the industry. Talk to people. I had a couple of friends who flew to LA and decided I wanted to do acting. So those are probably the first people I contacted. What do you do? Like, what do I have to do? Like, tell me what I need to do to. And they tell you open casting calls, join acting class, and pretty much network. So networking is really key.
Can't be afraid to talk to people.
You can't be afraid to talk to people. So, and definitely, like I said, acting class is one of the key things to me, because when you join an acting class, it puts yourself out there to talk to, like you said, other actors and get the information you need. So I definitely joined the acting class after I booked this one role. We'll talk about that later. So that's, like I said, I got an acting class. I made the connects, and then after making the connects, I went and got me an agent. And getting an agent is kind of difficult, because it's hard to get an agent when you don't have any prior work. So it's kind of like they don't want
that's gonna make them money.
Exactly.
They normally don't charge. They take a percentage out of what you make. So if you're not booking from having no experience, why am I investing in you?
Exactly.
Unless I really think you can blow.
Yeah. So getting an agent is probably one of the harder parts. But once you do have an agent, someone who believes in you, it smooths on from there. Like I said, it's just about even if you're just doing extra work, extra work and doing small projects where you're actually speaking in it, or in acting classes, agents are willing to take on new talent. It just depends on what their roster looks like, who's moved on, who's still here, what a casting director is looking for. They're willing to take on new talent, but you just have to kind of be patient, because I was submitting stuff to agents left and right, and for 2 months I didn't hear anything, and then finally Grit Talent contacted me. So shout out to Grit Talent, Susan Johnson.
That's how it goes.
Plug.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of the work that you guys done. I'm start with you, Zach. So you recently B. Anderson was in the May series. Did a lot of different work with that.
Shout out to B. Anderson.
That's my guy. He was just here the other day, so we had a great interview. Be sure to look out for that when that comes out. But how was it interacting with B. Anderson and the whole entire crew? Because I talked to him briefly about it, just from the script writing that he did, and just all the things things he was trying to create, with not only with the music, but with the visuals of the actual video.
Yeah, man. If y'all don't listen to B. Anderson music, go check it out, man. It's a genuine dude. I like working with genuine people. And sometimes, in the entertainment industry, I'm learning now, so starting out early, you don't always get to work with genuine people. And that's just life. But I think working with B. Anderson, man, is working with somebody that has a vision. He really sees his music come to life. And, the stuff that he writes about, he talks about is something that I think all of us as millennials can understand. I had a pleasure to be a part of Make a Damn Effort, the Maze series, and it's on his YouTube. So if you follow me or if you follow him, go check it out. But basically, the project I was a part of was called High Hopes, and it was a song that was directed basically towards us as millennials. How when stuff starts climbing up the wall, we face depression. Sometimes we don't know how to handle it because we've kind of been coddled our whole life, and sometimes friends don't understand what we're going through. But just always keep your hopes high, and you can break through that thing. And I think that working with him, man, it was just a pleasure, because he knows where he wants his vision. He knows where he wants things to go. He knows how he wants it to look. So it made it a lot easier on me as an actor, because a lot of times musicians are very particular about how their message comes off. If you're a good musician, at least. And I think that he made it very easy on me because I basically had to just act as if I was going through things, as if bills were running up the wall. Who ain't been broke? We all been broke. I had to act as if I hadn't had a meal in a couple of days. Who ain't had a meal in a couple of days? Or if I'm getting into it with my girl, and we've all been there. So it made it a lot easier to, I think it's a lot harder when you try to act, when you're acting in a place. I think you become a great actor when you're acting in a role that you've never had experience. And so working with him, man, it was great. The May series was awesome. So that was one that I did. That was kind of one of the first things I did to pop off. Me resurging my acting career. And I think the next one was Bosses. Bosses. It's a web series that I'm doing right now. I auditioned for it. It was a casting call, man, and it was one of all the dudes who auditioned for the lead role, and I ended up booking it. And to be honest, man, I didn't think I was gonna get it. They sent me over. I think that's a common. Sometimes you don't think you're gonna get it until you got it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's basically about 4 individuals, man. They how they transition through college, everything they go through. You got the person that's silver spoon growing in their mouth. You got the person that comes from middle class. You got the person whose parents wasn't around, and you got the person who came from nothing and they obtained something in college. And it just shows their progression through college life. And I'm playing the Ray character, so you can follow the Instagram page, BAWSES_series. But man, it's been a pleasure, man. Like I said, being around more creatives in that series, man, and just bouncing ideas off of them and finding new alleyways, it's just been awesome for me, man. So I'm just looking for what's next.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that web series come out, because I watched all of B. Anderson's videos, and the second one was what I really liked the most, just from not only the message of it, but the visuals that came with it as well. So, again, be sure to check out B. Anderson.
Oh, shout out Maurice Films, man. That's his camera guy.
Dog,
man's cold.
Great dude, man. Man's cold. But this guy, I'm gonna give you the whole breakdown. So, I was in the movies, probably like the second or third day the movie came out. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he's on a snowy hill, and I'm being real.
Yeah.
The first time I did not see it. I was too busy looking at Angela Bassett. I was like completely whipped over.
Definitely saw him the first time.
And then the thing is, I watched it again. I went back and supported it. I was like, oh, there you go. My God, it made it. So if you guys, my guy was in Black Panther. Yeah. He was on the snowy hills. So how did that even come about? How did we get from one auditioning to 2 being on a film that grossed so much money and was watched in the movie 3 or 4 different times?
It's crazy that it's that big, first and foremost. Oh my goodness. It's a crazy story because when I initially was presented with this, someone tagged me in this post on Facebook. Open cast on Facebook. And I was just like,
no Facebook.
No, this is that BS. Some tagging me in this spam. Everybody just want to tag me some Facebook posts. But no, it was one of my homegirls. Her name is Alexis Condi. She straight up, said, no, don't just submit online. How about we just fly out there and see if we can get a movie? And at first I was like, okay, you're crazy, you're tripping. Like, there's no, why would we do that? Like, we're setting ourselves up for an L.
It don't make logical sense.
Yeah. So she talked me into something. I was like, fine, fuck it, let's just
go.
Book the ticket. So I booked the ticket. We flew to Atlanta. Open casting call, I believe it was on a Friday. We flew there. Get there, and it's like 5,000 people waiting in line, ready to just get seen. And I was like, okay. we walk in and it's like, just different sessions. About like 500 people come in and they come out. All they do is just give you a little sign-up sheet. They take your picture and you're on your way out. No questions, no nothing, okay? So it's just crazy because this happened in October of 2016. Yeah, October 2016. I didn't hear anything back. I forgot. I was like, okay, well, I mean, that was that.
You try.
Let me just see how else I can pursue acting like I want to, join acting class and everything like that. Within that time of my pursuit of acting, starting my career out, I get a call from the casting director. Her name is Tammy Smith. And, she calls me and I'm just like, hold on, wait. First of all, I didn't even pick up the first phone call. Like, she called me the first time. I was like, let me just wait. She called me another time. I picked it up and I was like, oh, who's this? And she told me, this is Tammy Smith casting. And we just had a brief conversation. She told me, Ryan Coogler really liked my look and wanted me to be in a small role. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And one thing she asked me, do you still have your beard? And I said, I still have my beard. So that was a Sunday, and I had to be out there Wednesday. And I was out there from Wednesday to Friday shooting Black Panther. So that was like my first project, and it's crazy that's my first project. It's kind of like reverse, but like I said, it was small. I was only an extra, I didn't have any speaking lines or anything like that. But just the fact that I was in something that big and that massive, like, opened my eyes to what really, being an actor is, what we strive for, what we want, what I'm saying? So I'm just being out there around the actors and actresses, being able to talk to Angela Bassett, Lupita, Letitia Wright, just Chadwick Boseman, just be able to interact and just get the vibe. It's just like,
yeah. And I want to ask you with that, when you were on set with those people, like, what did you actually learn just being in that realm, bro? Because I know, it's so much wisdom right there on that set.
What I learned honestly was, professionalism. Like, they're workers, like acting, like they were all professional. They worked. They made sure they knew their lines, before they got on set. And one thing I also learned is like, it takes a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, when there's 40 people on crew and the set has like 30 actors, like you have to have a means of communication, so you have to have that respect level. Like, when they say quiet on set, try to be mindful of that. Be quiet on set. Really pay attention to what they're wanting, because there's notes that directors that they give you. Like, even Ryan Coogler gave me a direction. He told me to make sure I don't care how small it is. He told me to make sure my stick was on my left hand and not on my right hand. And I had it on my right hand, and I wasn't listening. He was like, hey, boss, I told you, left hand. I was like, my bad. So when we walked up, it was on my left hand. And the reason why he did that is because he wanted to show my face. Had I not had it on there, what I'm saying? Like, I would have blocked my face, what I'm saying? So he's just looking at like, exactly. We got my camera time. But it was just an amazing experience. It really just opened my eyes to, like, major production and how it is and the life of being an actor. You have to literally be there on time. If you got to work on set for 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours a day, you're going to be on set 14. That's what they pay you for. You're putting in that work. But they also take care of you. I'm not going to sleep. They also take care of you when you're on set for that long.
That's good to be good.
Yeah, you definitely good. But yeah, that just really just propelled my career. I was just like, this is definitely what I want to do. So I started doing like student films. I started being extras and other things. I was an extra in freaking, what's that show? Empire and all this other stuff. And I just, I've done, like I said, student films. I worked with a very, very talented young man. His name is Scott Larson. He's a great writer, great director. He's going to school in Los Angeles. He's trying to do one more summer film before he leaves. His film was actually featured at South by Southwest for student film. And he won his Plano West High School Film Festival. So he's really on big things. And I was in two of his little shorts, and he's on to something. And like I said, never be closed-minded. Like, be willing to work with these, because these are the future directors. Like, these are the future directors.
Everybody just starts somewhere.
Exactly. And it's crazy because when I met him, he was nervous to meet me at first. He wanted to give me all the information, pay rate, and everything he gave me was professional. I thought, okay, yeah, he's big time. Like, this guy knows what he's doing in Dallas. Comes in a 17-year-old kid, like, I was like, yo, hey, no judgment, bro. As long as you want it, we got good stuff. He's good. So yeah, Scott Lawson's been doing it. And then, I've done commercial work, commercial, and never sleep on commercial work. Yeah, commercial work is, like I said, it's a production in general. It's a production, and you still learn something, what I'm saying? So I did commercial work, and I just recently got my first principal gig, a movie called Black Easter Resurrection, so I'm really excited about that. It's a SAG project. I got my SAG card from being on that project. And yeah, it's like I said, you just have to keep going. You just have to just keep on striving. SAG, Screen Actors Guild. SAG is Screen Actors Guild. And it's basically, It's basically an organization that makes sure actors are treated fairly, paid the
It's almost like a union.
Yeah, it's a union.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely. That's exactly what it is. It's a union. Just make sure that actors are paid, a fair rate. Make sure we're taken care of on set. Make sure that everything that encompasses us being on set that we're taking care of. There's guidelines that directors have to follow, made by SAG to make sure that our actors are taken care of. Make sure that if we're going to work overtime, we get paid overtime and everything like that. So it's really, really a great union to have because they really take care of you. But like I said, once you become SAG, just know that there's a lot of non-union work you can't do. So that's one thing. Make sure you just work hard. Just make sure you work hard.
Don't sleep on the extra work.
Yeah, and do not sleep on extra work. I did a lot of extra work. I did a lot of extra work, even unpaid extra work. I was on a movie called, it was in South by Southwest. It was featured in South by Southwest and won a couple of awards, I think. It's called 1985, and I was an extra. I was just a bar patron. I just walked by on the screen, and that was it. And like I said, this is me starting off. I just wanted to be, behind the production.
And that's always good though, bro, because to be honest, that's anything, putting in the extra work. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, you're not going to get that payment for those extra jumpers you put at midnight at night, but at the same time, it's going to translate to the game when it's crunch time. So I definitely can't stray away from it.
Just like David was saying, I was watching the interview of Kevin Hart the other day, man. He's been doing what he's been doing for 20 years.
Yes,
he said only the last 7 have been this great run that we've seen. Mm-hmm. But he's been doing it for 20 years, so man, you can't give up, man. You just can't give up. If this is something you really want, and it's something that you're not chasing just for the fame, you're not chasing just for the money, it'll work out in your favor if you stay consistent, man. Yeah. So if you just think Steve Carell, the dude from The Office, dude didn't get on until he was like 40.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You gotta think about it, man. Like,
you think about
Taraji P. 30, you just gotta.
Terry Crews was an extra.
Man!
He was an extra in Training Day.
He was.
Nobody, it was his first production every day.
He just walked out
because he was originally like security on set. They were like, "Do you want to be the producer?" Yeah, I definitely do. So all he did was just shake his head no and walk away. Like when
that's it.
Denzel was going on that big rant, and now look at where Terry Crews' career today.
And speaking of Terry Crews, he recently had a situation where he was actually touched or sexually assaulted on set. In your own personal, your own interpretation, how would you guys deal with a situation like that? Because all situations are different.
Oh man, Bruce Lee, But no, that's crazy because I kind of understand what he's talking about. It's like as a black man, imagine if you would look at Terry Crews. He would destroy him in like a heartbeat. So he wanted to say, exactly. I guess he wanted to open a light. He wanted to open a light to where you're not. They shouldn't just block you. We shouldn't just be blocked from this world too. We shouldn't be seen as people who can't, get. I guess sexual assaulting. Right.
I think that's a big misconception.
Yeah.
When you think of Me Too, the movement, and no disrespect to anybody that's involved in the movement, been assaulted or whatever it may be. You only think of women. Yeah. And they don't take it serious because when you see Terry Crews, you think that, oh man, he's better than that. But you got to think about it when you have a dream that's so precious as whatever it may be,
you don't want to
and you're trying to break into this, and this is something that you're trying to not only feed your family off of, you second guess yourself when a female producer or even a male producer kind of like brush up on you like. Hold on, man, but you gotta think about where he's coming from as well, man. This is how he feed his people.
Exactly.
One wrong word,
anything,
he's gone. It's it.
Exactly.
He's hard to work with. He's difficult, and that's it. So I definitely understand why he waited so long.
And also agreeing with that, your name is everything coming in this business because word travels. Somebody can give you a bad recommendation. Somebody can even have just a bad notion about you, which can affect your work, can affect your career, and definitely.
Like think about you could even just look at it like how they doing Monique. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they saying she's hard to work with because she tells the truth, and sometimes that may not always be received.
It's very true. And another situation with Michael B. Jordan. When he actually said in the interview, I want to make sure I quote it right, that he wants to only play roles of, I want to say, white characters because he wants to basically kind of break the mold. And usually in castings, they give you the same kind of role or a similar role to what you're kind of accustomed to, a black male, drug dealer. So it's not so much you're breaking out of the acting realm. but at the same time, he wants to take on those roles that are not tailored for him. So he continue to elevate his skill as an actor.
Yeah.
How would you guys?
That's great.
I respect it. Like, I mean, because it's not easy. I mean, it's definitely not easy. But the fact that he's saying that he's putting himself out there and, you know, putting the team on the back, I respect that, you know. But
that's breaking down barriers for
exactly,
us
in the future, you know. It's like we're young, up and coming, trying to, you know, get to that point, God willing, and everything like that. So if he can do that, you know, that's amazing. And
definitely, man, go for it. Because you know, you see it every day. You know, when you go to casting calls, they'll say, you know, the ethnicity they want, and if you don't fit that ethnicity, they basically say don't even come. You know, if we're looking for, you know, like we were just talking about with Queen of the South, you know, they say they need, you know, it's Hispanic, it's based on a Hispanic drug cartel, so you know they need people that are Hispanic.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get what he's saying, man, and it make it break down the barriers for us. So you know, when we come down, we can break down the barriers for the next generation.
Very respectable.
Before we get up out of here, I have one more question to ask you guys. If you guys had like a panel of young theater students who really wanted to break into the industry, what was some words of advice or some expertise that you would give to them to kind of help motivate them to continue to keep pushing in what they're passionate about?
Just keep going. Stay consistent. You know, consistency is really, really key.
Yeah.
Don't, like I said, be open to criticism. You know, be willing to grow and just don't put yourself out there. You know, the worst people can say is no.
Right.
You won't die after that. You won't go.
Come from
no. So you know, just try. You know, just keep going. Put your full effort. Grow, learn, and just stay consistent. It's not going to be easy. You have to understand it won't be easy. I mean, you might feel like, oh, things are getting great. You know, you book something, but after you book something, you have to keep on going.
Yeah.
You know, you book one gig, and you have to keep on going. People have to still learn you. They have to still see your face. So stay consistent. Keep going, and just believe in yourself. For sure.
Mine, I've said it a few times, man. Comparison is a thief of joy. And I would tell them, you know, this is my guy. You know what I'm saying? Me and him go way back. But you know, I can't look at David's journey and say, well, damn, I should be here at this point. Well, damn, David is doing that, or so-and-so is doing that. Why is it not coming for me yet? Because when I start doing that, I'm discounting the blessings that I already have. I'm not focusing on the projects that I have ahead of me. So I think the biggest thing I would tell them is, you know, enjoy your journey. You know, enjoy where you're at in life. You know, again, Kevin Hart knew Tiffany Haddish for years. But his journey took off before her.
Exactly.
But look at them now. They met at the top.
Exactly.
They met at the top. So enjoy your journey, man. I you know, and reach out. I reach out. Hey, David. Hey, how you do this and that? I text him every couple months. Hey, bro, how does this and that work? Don't be afraid to reach out because you know it's that pride and that bitterness that'll stop you from your blessing, man. So comparison is deep for joy, man. Enjoy your journey.
I appreciate y'all coming on the Walker Review. You guys dropped a lot of gems. Y'all at least gonna motivate a lot of people to keep going in their acting career. We on our way to Hollywood, y'all. Y'all catch us at the top here at the Walker Review, man. We gonna get there.
Yo, here.